Hello friends, today's video is about my road trip from Germany to Denmark. Apart from discussing the various options to reach there, I will also share some budget hacks which will help you stretch the dollar in case you plan to take the same route. Now that being said, let's get started. Moving around in Europe is quite easy and various means of travel are available. Besides the obvious flight option, you can also reach your destination by road via a car or a bus. Or as in this case between Germany and Denmark, you can even take a train or a ferry. Choice of transport depends on case-to-case basis, the amount of luggage you have, and so on. There are several car rentals available in Europe, and sometimes, if you're lucky, you can even land some really good deals. So in my case, opting for a car seemed like the most cost-effective yet convenient option. Now that being said, let me share some travel options between Hamburg, that is my starting point in Germany, and Copenhagen, which is my destination in Denmark. If you opt for a train, you'll have broadly two options. First is that you're gonna take a combination of a regional and a fast train from Deutsche Bahn. For this, you'll have to go via the Hamburg, Flensburg, Copenhagen route. Second option will be to go to the island of Fårman, proceed to Puttgarden, and then onwards towards Denmark on a ferry. Yeah, that's right. This is the train option, and the entire train itself goes onto a ferry and then it sails towards Denmark. Interestingly, the same ferry is also used by the people driving to Denmark. That means if you don't want to drive all the way and want to travel part of the way by a ferry, it's possible. However, by doing this, neither you save any money nor do you reach any faster. Actually, a car or a bus are the cheaper options. As per Google Maps, it was going to be a 5.5-hour ride to Copenhagen. The views along the highway aren't great. I mean, it's just a normal highway and you have some bridges in between. Now we all know Germany is expensive, but in Denmark it's even more expensive. So while in Flensburg, definitely head to the so-called border supermarkets and use this final opportunity to buy things at German prices. Since mine was a multi-day trip, I used this chance and I stocked up certain items for the next few days. Driving from Hamburg to Copenhagen, the city of Nyborg is possibly the best location if you want to stop for a break. Here's me talking some more on that. On to the first stop on the way to Copenhagen. This is the city of Nyborg. This is just before, the stopover. It looks like this. By the water, so it's also quite nice, and we have all these benches everywhere in Denmark. So this is just one of these very iconic bridges. It's a long bridge which is connecting two islands, and I'm going to make a video of that as well, but this is just a small stopover en route between Hamburg and Copenhagen. The weather is fantastic as usual, and I'm just having this. Now, apart from taking a break and having your food or refreshments, you can also do some sports here. It's for kids, but the idea is to have fun, so give it a go. And I'm gonna try this. Let's see. This is how it's done. Oh my. Back on the road and heading towards the super long bridge called the New Little Belt Bridge. As I mentioned, it connects two of the bigger islands in Denmark. I don't want to sound dull, but crossing this bridge is perhaps the highlight of an otherwise very usual drive between the two countries. And guess what? Right during the bridge crossing by a road on top, there was a ship from the same Danish company which I work with, and that was about to cross the bridge as well. It felt a bit weird and different, because I've been sailing on this route, and every time before today, whenever I was crossing this bridge, I was on a ship. And I always had this thought as to what would be the view like if there was one of these cars passing on top of it. And today I'm in one of these cars. Oh, and of course, there's a toll that one needs to pay for using the bridge. The toll fee actually depends on the car size and the type. I did the math before starting the trip, and even with the toll fee plus the extra fuel for the extra kilometers, etc., it was still gonna be cheaper than taking the ferry, and the time would be almost the same. The rest of the drive was smooth as well, and before we knew, Copenhagen city limits had already begun. Copenhagen has always been a very cool city to visit. This was me just after reaching a nice spot. Here we are in Copenhagen now. This is the view. Denmark's capital city has been popular with tourists for years and years, and I look forward to exploring it in the next few days. When you're here, you'll almost immediately notice that the city is really well set up for bicycles and that there are dedicated bicycling lanes everywhere. More on that and about the city itself will be covered in the episodes to follow. For now, it's time to head towards the accommodation, which can be really expensive here in Denmark. So, look for the word studio when searching for an accommodation or a hotel, and most likely you'll end up saving some money for sure. This is what I'm gonna call home for the next few days, and for me, it's nice and sufficient. I'll call it a night and conclude the video on that note, leaving you with this beautiful night lapse. Please like and share the video if you found the information useful, and also please subscribe to my channel. As always, thanks for watching, keep exploring, and I'm gonna see you in the next one.